Okay, so today we continue with class of laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 46. Okay, we start with Sefer Hofetz Chaim, page 138. Do you have a book, David, or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, no problem. All right, no. Okay, so let me read then. So the big topic is the same, which is the LS7 conditions. Okay, and today's topic reproof first. Condition number 3. Before speaking about a person with others, one must first discuss the issue with that person himself. Okay. Trying to pursue the sinner to change his ways in a course is a course which must be pursued before bringing anyone else into the picture. This would not apply if speaking to the sinner. If speaking to the sinner might make it difficult. Okay, if not impossible, to achieve the desired result through any other means. Okay, so basically, before speaking Lashon Hara negatively about anybody, so we try to approach that person and discuss the things with him. Maybe he did not know. Maybe he's going to listen to us and change our ways. Unless we know that he's aggressive, he's very difficult or impossible, as they say. So then you're not obligated. But otherwise, it's like first priority is to talk to this guy. Okay.
Rabbi.
Yes.
Yes. So I heard from someone else, from another rabbi, that you're allowed to speak lashon hara about someone who did an avera to someone else, right? Let's say he stole from someone else, but you're not allowed to talk lashon hara if he stole from you, because you might have some selfish intention. But I thought that we're not allowed to speak lashon hara at all when it's from man to man, only man to Hashem. No.
No. Okay, so let's
have a time.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, so let's try to understand this situation. So we're allowed to talk about other people. For example, there is a person that steals from others, or let's say he said collecting tzedakah for a mikveh. We want to build a mikveh for women, otherwise they don't go to the mikveh in this neighborhood, stuff like that. Okay. So, and you would think that it's very good cause. I want to donate to this cause, right? And then people find out that this guy is a crook. So basically, your obligation is to warn others about this danger, because this guy is a crook and he's going to take your money and go to casino, basically. You understand? Okay. So one of the conditions, we have in condition number 3. But one of the conditions, you cannot speak about a person that if you hold a grudge against him. That's what you're referring to. So, but if he stole from you, and you say to yourself, okay, Hashem wanted me to lose money. Okay, I lost money. It's not that this guy is just a messenger. Hashem decided in Shemaim that I have to lose money, and this guy decided that he wants to steal. Basically, Hashem did the match. Okay, so am I against this person? No, I'm not against this person, but I want to warn others. You understand? So if you don't have this grudge particular against this person, you're allowed to talk. You understand? That's what. But sometimes people like take it out of context, and they give you like a synopsis, but it has nothing to do with the big picture. You understand? So always try to see that Hashem decided to do whatever bad was supposed to happen anyway, but this crook is decided that he wants to be the one who punishes us. Okay, so you're allowed to talk about in first case and second case. So, but if so, in what case you are not allowed to talk? So, if for example you order some merchandise from him, right? You order whatever, he has a store, and you want to buy whatever you want to buy, a camera, and you bought this camera, and then you found out that on Amazon they sell $30 cheaper. newer model. So you will come to this guy and say, I want to return. This guy will say, but the store policy is 14 days. You came 16 days later. And you say no, but you charge me more, and it's on Amazon less, and newer model, stuff like that. So and the guys started like going crazy, and he started speaking bad about this guy, right? About the salesperson. It has nothing to do with him. I mean, did you ask him if it's last model, not the last model? Did he ask? I mean, you could have looked around. You don't have to buy. You understand? So now he has a grudge because he lost money, basically. In his mind, he lost money. So he started talking bad about this salesperson, about this business, stuff like that. So it's not allowed because it's a personal. It becomes personal. You're not allowed. When you're trying to warn others, it's obligation. You understand what the difference is?
Understood.
Okay. So let's start. So we started very interesting melacha last time, which is called sewing, and the definition was just what I said. The definition was any activity that improves the growth of any plant. Whatever plant you improve, whatever you do to improve, as we say, watering and or other methods, so it's not allowed. So the last thing we said last time, right? It was that there are three types of activities. We said initial growth, right? We said promoting growth, watering plants, and the third one was protecting growth. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to according to this list one by one with all of the details. So the first one was initiating growth. Okay. Methods. And Av Milacha includes all different methods of causing plant or seeds to begin growing. Sowing, scattering the seed over the field with a grain. Planting, placing an individual seed into the hole in the ground, as with trees. Grafting, a branch from one tree to another. Layering, bending the branches of vine into the ground, where it gives rise to the new shoots. And replanting, a sprout, sapling, bulb of plant. Okay. So let's try to understand all of this in simple words. So they say, so initial Av Milacha includes different methods, right? Causing plant or seed to begin growing and sowing. Scattering the seed. So you take the seed and you throw it around, and it's going to be a sowing. Like for example, if you eat watermelon and you in your backyard, so you're not allowed to throw this seeds, watermelon seeds into the ground, basically, because it's sowing 100%. Then we say planting. Planting meaning that there is a hole in the ground, and you put the seed or a tree, whatever you put, right? And it could be like it's not only seeds like I don't know what kind of seed, like wheat or barley or stuff like that. It could be even like avocado, right? So you finish avocado, you have this piece inside. I think it's also, I'm not sure how it's called, seed. It's not seed, whatever. So you put it in ground, it can also grow. Whatever. And like from this seed, like from different seeds, from different vegetables, fruits and vegetables, they can grow. Then we say grafting. So grafting meaning that you cut a branch from one tree and you want to attach it to another tree. So basically you have this very strong tree, whatever kind of tree, and you're trying to graft a branch from a weaker tree.
Rabbi,
okay. Yes.
How long after sowing does it count as? How long after planting a seed does it count as if you did a malacha?
Okay, so last time we said there is one opinion was until it started germinate. So germinate meaning that it started like rotting inside, right? So they say it takes 3 days, right? But it was one opinion, and another opinion was that as soon as you put it in the ground, that's it. You did the milach. So basically, we try to go by a stricter opinion.
Understood.
So all of this, this example that I just gave, this what is it? This watermelon. Oh, of course, the kids playing with this seed, but it can fly to the grass. And it's not, most likely, I would say that's my understanding. You're not going to grow the watermelon in the backyard, but anyway, it's not allowed. So grafting. So this layering is it's also very interesting. So how this layering works? So basically, it's not like you're not planting anything. So you have this grape wine, right? And it's flexible, right? So what they do, they bend it, and they attach to the ground, like somewhere in the middle, basically in the middle. And it's and why do they attach? Because now it shoots the roots in that, like in the middle of the vine, it starts shooting the roots like under the ground, and now it becomes stronger. You understand? So it gets nourishment not only from the beginning of the vine, but now even in the middle of the vine. Make sense? So now. It's also considerably growing. Okay. Then we say replanting. So meaning you dig up whatever plant from one place, and you're trying to plant in another. So all of these bulbs and plants, whatever. So all of these methods are not allowed. Continue. Applicability of the prohibition. The prohibition applies to the seeds, bulbs, plants, places of soil from which they can grow. Placing these on soil which cannot produce growth is not a prohibited activity. So basically, when you're somewhere in a desert, I mean, if it's like in a summertime, it's not going to grow. But even if it's in winter time, when the rains or after or in springtime in the desert. So the desert, we've been to different deserts in the springtime, and it's beautiful. It's blooming. It's hard to believe that it is desert. In a sense, if you plant there, or you throw the seed there, it might grow. At least might start growing. Okay.
Wait,
But
Rabbi,
it's not going to. Yeah, go ahead.
So this question basically, you'll see where I'm going with this. It sounds off topic, but it's not. I promise you. Let's say a fly falls on you, right?
What happened?
A fly, right?
Fly, yeah, fly.
Yeah, a bug, a fly, whatever you want to call it. So it falls on you on Shabbos, and you slap it. Okay. Now, now it dies after Shabbos. Did I do a malacha or no?
You did the melacha, but you did unintentionally.
Yeah, but either way,
unless you did it intentionally. So I mean, if it's bother you, so let's say you were talking to someone, right, and then you saw like you felt like I don't know, like stinge, right? So and you whatever, so somebody sting you, so you I don't know, you slap it and you killed it. So it was unintentional, basically. So what matters is done. So don't say why would you say melacha is not done? It's done.
So what matters is the action. We agree, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I plant a seed in the winter. We know it's not going to grow, but it's going to grow in the summer. So because of my action, because I put it over there, it's going to grow now. So does it count as if I did a malacha even though I put it in the winter?
Retroactively, yes.
Understood.
Exactly. No, you're right, 100%. Yeah. Okay. So continue. So one more time. If you place the seeds, if you put these watermelon seeds on asphalt on this cement road, I mean, nothing is going to happen. So it's not a malach, unless, as we said last time, maybe the wind is going to blow them to the soil. Okay, that's the thing. Okay. For example, planting seeds in a desert sand is not forbidden because seeds cannot grow in a desert. Okay, that's obvious. Similarly, placing seeds in a sandbox is not forbidden because they cannot grow there. Okay. Continue. Furthermore, meaning in a sandbox in a desert, so it's understandable. So it's not going to grow. So there is no melach. But still, don't play with fire. Furthermore, why say don't play with fire? Because a bird might come, right, and it might take the seed, and it's not going to eat. I was trying to bring to its babies, right, and then it's dropped somewhere in the middle of the flight. And of course, it's indirect and indirect, but you caused it. Doesn't matter. End of the facts. Maybe you're not guilty, so no court can find you guilty, of course. But still, it was the sin came. The sin, the desecration of Shabbos came through you. That's also like big consideration. You understand? Even though we cannot find him guilty, even from the hand of the B'dei Shamayim and stuff like that, that's still the sin came. Okay. Furthermore, one may not place seeds in a place where people will trample them because the seed cannot grow in such an area. One more time. Furthermore, one may place the seeds in a place where people will trample them because seed cannot grow in such an area. Okay. Likewise,
So I want to ask now. So let's say a flower or something. Let's say you step on it, right? Now, I'm not sure what we posting like this, but a flower really, according to science, is a living thing. So if I step on a flower, right, and now now it's not going to grow well anymore. It's going to die sooner. Did I do malacha or no, or does that only apply?
No, but it was unintentional. So basically, I mean, I think in this book we're going to maybe it's even sowing, right? So we would say you're not allowed to walk on a tall grass. No, it's not this melacha, but it probably melacha of reaping, right? So why the tall grass? Because tall grass is more like sturdy, so more likely that you're going to break it. The shorter grass, it's more like flexible. Even if you step in it looks like it is broken, but it's not. It's going to stand up after you leave, after some time. So the shorter grass is not so easy to break, but taller grass is much easier to break. So same with flowers. So if you step on a flower, of course you're going to break it.
Understood.
So basically, try not to go where the flowers are. When the shorter grass, there is no problem. Taller grass is a problem. Okay. So continue. Likewise, one may throw seeds on the soil for chickens to eat. These seeds will not grow because chicken will eat them. However, one may only throw out an amount that the chicken can consume in less than 3 days. Throwing a greater quantity is forbidden because the chicken will not consume the excess. Thus, the seed will begin to grow in the ground. So it's very interesting point. So we have chickens, so they give them all of the seeds, and there is no problem to throw them in the ground. Because why? Because we know that the chickens are going to eat them, and they're going to find these cute chickens. They're going to find every seed and they're going to eat. No problem. So if you don't throw them too much, it's allowed. If they cannot eat in 3 days, so basically this 3 days rule, as we said, that is germinating. Okay, so continue. Next one, C, eating fruits and vegetable outdoors. When eating fruits and vegetable outdoors, one must be careful not to throw seeds and pits on the soil. The seeds or pits may germinate, which is violation of the melacha of Zareya. Okay, maybe even let's say if they even on top of the ground, not under the ground like ours is even on top of the ground, if they start germinate, that's already the problem. For example, a guy was eating apple, and he ate it all the way to the core, and didn't pay attention, whatever happened. So and some apple seeds fell out. That's the problem. Okay, continue. Planting in a flower pots. So the D. Planting in a flower pots. Planting in a flower pot outdoors may be either a Torah or a rabbinic prohibition, depending on the type of the pot used. Planting in a flower pot indoors is a subject to the different rule, as will be explained below. Okay.
Wait, Rabbi, question.
Yes.
So let's say before Shabbos, I watered the plant, so on and so forth, right? But it was in a dark room, okay? So it couldn't grow. But now, on Shabbos, I took it to my backyard. There's an Eruv and everything, but now it gets light. Did I do a malacha or no?
Of course, yes. That's it's in the next one. We didn't get to it. So first one was initial growth. That's what we're on, right? Or planting minute. And what you asking is a promoting growth. So when you put on a sun, of course, it is promoted, 100%. Yeah. Or opposite. I give you another example. You see that the sun is very strong and it's going to burn the plant, right? And you want to move it to the shade, right? That's protecting. That's also not allowed.
Understood.
So okay. So if anyone said that he Shoma Shabbos and he never went over these melachas, for me it's a laughable statement.
What's it called? But let's say the flowers are in my house though. Does that still apply if I move them from a lighter area to a darker area?
What kind of flower? In a pot or in a vase? What kind?
In a pot, in a vase.
Yeah. No. In a vase, it's cut flowers. So I mean, we let's do one by one. We started this planting in flower pots, and we're going to say with a hole in the bottom and without hole in the bottom. That's a different hole. So let's go one by one. So one more time, planting in a flower pot outdoors may be either Torah or a rabbinic prohibition. Outdoors, we're talking about outdoors, depending on the type of the pot used. Planting in a flower pot indoors is subject to the different rule, as we'll explain below. So number one, a perforated flower pot. There is a pot with a hole in it. So I don't know if you know, there's some pots that have a hole like on the bottom. And then you put some kind of like a container to catch the excess water. Understand? So when you pour too much water, right? So the water is going out of the pot, stay in that container, and when needed, the plant is going to suck it back. Okay, so it's a perforated flower pot. The second type is not perforated flower pot, a pot with no hole in it. Hole usually on the bottom. Okay, so let's see. Number one, a perforated flower pot. Perforated flower pot is considered attached to the ground because of its hole, which allows the plant to draw nutrients from the ground. Planting in a perforated flower pot is thus considered planting in the ground and is forbidden biblically. So it's very interesting. Okay, let's. One second, should we finish? Okay, so we said this hole, through this hole, right? Or in a flower pot, there is connection. So we don't say that it is touches the ground. No. Even above the ground, right? Even this flower pot with a hole above the ground is getting nourishment from the ground, from the air that is connected to the ground, basically. Okay, continue. So this one planted in this kind of perforated flower pot, forbidden biblical. A flower pot is categorized as perforated if it is contain a hole through which the small root can fit. That's a very interesting statement. So it's not like we explained initially when you buy in a store, it has it sells with a hole and without hole. No, they say that the smallest hole could be like this hole could be like a crack, tiniest crack through which the smallest root can fit. And this root, they're very thin, like even like a thread. Very thin. Okay. The location of the hole is immaterial, so it could be like in the middle, closer to the top, on the bottom, whatever. Immaterial. It can be on the bottom or on the side of the pot, because plant can draw nutrients from the soil through either bottom or side of the pot. So it's very interesting. So one more time. So if there is a hole on the bottom or on the side of the pot, so the roots can go out and get like I don't know, like it's my personal experience, like antenna. They can get connected to the nourishment from the ground. Even if the pot is not resting on the ground, but is hanging above it, as high it may be, it nevertheless considered to be planted. Considered to be attached to the ground, because a plant can draw a certain amount of nutrients from the ground, even through the air. So what we just say, it's very interesting. So we say that you can live on the 10th floor, right, in an apartment building, and you have this flower pot like hanging over your balcony. And underneath that balcony, there is soil, and you have this hole in a pot. So through this hole, like 10 stories down, this your flower pot is connected to the ground. Okay. However, this is true only as long as there is no obstruction separating the pot from the ground. So basically, as in our example that we just gave, so there is no obstruction. So your balcony, and it's like there is like the flower, there is like hangers, and they put like metal hooks and stuff like that. So they you can hang like over your balcony. Okay. So now let's say there is no like roads or no pathways. Okay, so it's soil, no obstruction, so it's getting nutrients from the ground.
Rabbi. Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Does it count as benefiting from a malacha on Shabbos? Let's say someone cut flowers on Shabbos, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're allowed to put them in a vase, right? And you're able to put them in a vase now. And now you're able to move them from one room to the next and so on and so forth. You don't have to worry about the light. Does that count as benefiting or no?
No, but you're not allowed to touch these flowers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you're allowed to touch the vase, though. No, are you not?
No. Let's start your example from the beginning, step by step.
Yeah.
So somebody cut these flowers from outside, from his garden, right? And he brought into your house.
Correct.
So you're not allowed to benefit in any way. And you're not allowed to put them in a vase to begin with.
Understood. Okay.
So basically, we're not allowed to benefit from anything that other Jew did in violation of Shabbat. For how long? Forever. So, for example, if somebody cooked something on Shabbos, I say, if it's for Shabbos for you, but I can cook. So in this case, you're not allowed to benefit ever from this thing. You understand? If he knew what he was doing, but if he did not know, it was accidental, this and that, then you have to wait, as I spoke before, this amount of time that it takes to prepare the food. 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. But what's it called?
But if he did it intentionally, said that, look, stop with the Shabbos, that's for you. For me, it's a regular day. I can do whatever I want, and let's eat. Right? I prepare fresh food. Right? So you're not allowed to. Okay.
But let's say even if he did it intentionally, right? Why does it count as benefiting if you wait the amount of time it takes? You're not benefiting.
No, forever and ever. So basically, your brother is losing his share in the world to come, and you're going to eat it, or you're going to enjoy these flowers. How can you enjoy the flowers?
Understood.
So that's the rationale. Okay, continue. Under circumstances, so we said this through this hole on the bottom of the pot, if there is no separation, so it can abstraction, right? So it can draw the nutrients from I don't know, they say forever, from 10th floor to 20th floor, 100th floor. Okay, continue. Under certain circumstances, even a plant growing in a non-perforated pot is considered connected to the ground. If the plant's leaves spread over its sides, exposing them to the soil beneath, they're able to draw nutrients from the ground. Thus, they consider attached to the ground. So it's very interesting moment here. So you have a non-perforated flower pot, right? It's from plastic, from from whatever is it, right? Like solid material. There is no holes, but the leaves from the plant, they grow hanging over. So so the nutrients come through the leaves, also not only through the roots, which is very interesting. So this non-perforated flower pot is also you're not it's considered as being attached to the ground.
Wait, is the flower pot itself, let's say a vase, not even a flower pot, or a flower pot which isn't connected to the ground, right? Is it considered muktzah or no?
No.
Understood.
So this vase of the flowers, okay, that you have. So I mean, it was on this table, and now you need to use this table for something. So just move that vase to another place. There is no problem.
But my question is, for example, I was on Shabbat last week. Someone told me that, for example, touching a picture on the wall is muktzah because it's not meant to be touched or moved.
Moved, yeah.
So why would a vase meant to be touched or moved? It's meant to.
Okay. It's a good question. So let's try to understand what is the difference between a vase and a picture. So picture, you let's say you have expensive painting, whatever. Expensive for you painting. For you paid, I don't know how much, $10,000 for that painting, right? So you don't want anybody to touch this painting. You understand? You just want it to hang, and because why? You're afraid that it's going to fall, and or somebody is going to, I don't know, spoil it or damage it. Then you need it, right? So it is set before Shabbos. Like in your mind, you don't want anybody to touch these paintings. You understand? So in this case, this painting, it's 100% muktzah. So other painting, for example, you have some children's drawings, right? Children draw whatever. So I mean, you don't mind people to touch them and to move them from place to place. So they're not muktzah. Understand? But this vase, it's moved like many times, unless you have this rare waste from China from 500 years ago, and it's antique and stuff like that, it is going to be muktzah. You don't want anybody to come near this space. Forget about touching.
Wait, but let's say obviously, let's say I got China plates, right?
Yes.
Let's say, I let my wife or someone touch it, right? Because she has to put the food on the plate. But
Yes.
let's say I don't want a 14, 15-year-old boy touching them because they're expensive. They might get ruined. He's immature, so on and so forth. So is it muktzah to all people or
No.
to some people?
No. You see, all of the plates and all of this other things like needed for Shabbat, they excluded from category of muktzah. They cannot be muktzah even. I give you a better example, I think, right? So forget about Shabbos plates. So you have separate sets of Shabbos plates. It's understandable, but then on Shabbos you're allowed to touch Pesach plates. So of course you don't want to touch them. You don't want to get hometz on them. Of course, it's all understand, but you are allowed to touch them because technically, I'm not sure. I don't say somebody's going to do it, but technically, if needed, you can use these plates on Shabbos.
Am I allowed?
You have 300 extra plates, but those plates they never move. Okay, go ahead.
Am I allowed to touch non-kosher plates?
Non-kosher plates that needs to be koshered, let's say, right?
Yeah. Let's say, but I can't make it kosher on Shabbos, right? Because I have to.
Yes. Oh, okay. So I think so. Let's simplify it. So I give you another example. So before using plates or something, right? We have to dip it in the mikveh, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So technically, you're not allowed to use them until you dip them in the mikveh. So they say actually they're not moved on Shabbos because technically you can use them. Let's say you want to put bananas on that, right, and sort it on a table, or you want to put it like you want to use this big plate, let's say, as a tray. So you want to bring 3 cups of tea, and instead of because they're hot, you want to put on this plate and bring them all together.
Wait, question.
So there is usage for such a things.
So I'm allowed to put, let's say, par food on a non-kosher plate and still have it?
Technically, yes.
Better not to, though?
Of course, we don't do it. So, but technically, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, understood.
So if it's basically if it's dry and stuff like that, I mean, once again, we don't do it, but technically there is no problem.
They're called. So, you said we have to put it in a mikveh, but I heard from many people, for example, let's say there's a pot, right? You have to use a flame torch or something. I don't know. You have to.
Yes.
There's a bigger process, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No. What's step back. So it's only when it was not kosher, it was used for non-kosher food, or it's used and you want to make it kosher. So in this case, you have to use the torch. But otherwise, if you just buy the things from the store, brand new, so you just dip them in the mikveh and that's it. You can use them.
Understood. Okay.
So continue. An earthenware or wood flower pots is considered perforated, even when there is no hole in it. So that's very interesting. So earthenware, meaning what? It's like it's very porous, right? So I mean, it gets these nutrients through the small crack. It's not even cracks. That's material itself. Plus wood also. It can breathe in, breathe out, basically. Okay, so it's considered like it's always has these perforations. Continue. So instances where the perforated flower pot is not treated as perforated. So one more time, instances where perforated flower pot, so there is a hole, and we treat it not like it does not have a hole. Okay, so let's see. There are several instances in which a perforated pot is not treated as perforated and planted in it, therefore does not violate the Torah prohibition. Okay, so it says, if a perforated pot rests on a glass, stone, or metal or iron, and the plants in it cannot draw nutrients from the ground. Similarly, so let's try to understand. So, for example, you have this you have a balcony in your house, right? And you have this table, like a glass table, and you have on this this perforated flower pot or this earthenware pot, which is as we said, which is considered as perforated. But since there is separation between soil and I mean on the ground and your flower pot, so it's considered as not perforated basically. Or even if you hang it like over the balcony, but you have like pathways, like cement pathways like underneath, so of course it's not considered as connected. Similarly, if a perforated pot is standing in a house where the floor of the house separates between it and the ground below, the plants cannot draw nutrients from the ground. Therefore, the perforated pots are treated in this case as they were not perforated, because they are separated from the earth by the non-porous material. So basically, in a house, if you have let's say tiles, right, or you have basement, right? If you live in a private house, you have basement. So and of course the basement floor is made of cement. I mean, on top is whatever, but it's made of cement. So basically, everything in your house is considered to be even they have holes. They have perforated flower pots. They consider to be as not perforated. Why? Because there is no connection to the ground. But let's say if we're talking about like summer houses, people have the bungalow style, right? So they don't have basements, and under this wooden floor, let's say, right? They have I mean, let's say like to simplify things, right? Under this wooden floor, that they have earth. So in this case, it's 100% connected. So this, as we said, this wooden floor, they're not going to be like a separation. Okay, continue. Based on the above, the following halachas apply to the perforated flower pots. Number one. So we're talking about one more time perforated flower pots. One may not move them from indoors to the outdoors. So if it's perforated flower pot, one may not move them from indoors, right? So it was indoor to the outdoors, because thereby move them from a place where they do not draw nutrients from the ground to the place where they can draw them. Okay, so that's I mean it was on your table, right? And then you put it like outside. So now it will start getting nutrients. That's the problem. Number two, similarly, one may not take pots standing outdoors on a non-porous material and place them on the earth, because they will cause them to draw nutrients from the ground. So you had this flower pot next to your house, let's say, standing on this cement pathway, right? And you draw and you remove it a little, I don't know, like 5 inches. You remove it 5 inches is what is it? I don't know, like I don't know how many centimeters. 10 centimeters. That's I don't know. 15 centimeters, let's say. You move it to the ground, and that's it. I mean, it started taking the nutrients. So it's absolutely forbidden. Even like 1 inch, whatever, half inch, whatever you move close to the ground is not allowed. Okay, next one is B. changing the position of perforated flower pot. So we're talking about perforated flower pots only. It is rabbinically prohibited to lower a perforated flower pot from the high position to the lower position outdoors. So it's outside, so it was hanging, I don't know, whatever it was hanging. On this hook, you're not allowed to put it on a lower hook. Right? The reason is that although the plant are drawing nutrients from the ground, even where it was high, they draws more nutrients when it's lower. So basically, the lower the closer to the ground, the more nutrients it gets. So meaning what that we are promoting the growth of this plant, which is a problem. However, one is permitted to move the perforated flower pot across the ground from one place to another because it is continuously on the ground, and moving it therefore does not diminish the amount of nutrients drawn from the ground. So I'm not sure. So, but one more time, we're not talking about from shade to sun and from sun to shade. We're not talking about that. For some, I don't know, it's on his way, and it bothers whatever he have afraid that baby is going to trip over it. So and it's on the ground, so he's allowed to move it like a few feet away, let's say on the ground, that is not going to break any other plants, or whatever, this grass or anything. Okay. So number 2, let me check time. Okay, we have time. So now number 2 is non-perforated flower pot. None. So there is no holes. According to many authorities, planting in a non-perforated flower pot is only rabbinically prohibited. Okay, so basically because it's not, in some sense, it's not connected to the ground. However, so I mean, it's still prohibited, but rabbinic. However, since a non-perforated flower pot does not draw the nutrients from the ground, one may move it from indoor to outdoors. That's interesting. So if non-perforated flower pot, so there is no connection to the ground, as we said, so you can move it from indoors to outdoors. Okay.
Why can I move it from indoors to outdoors even though it gets more sunlight outdoors?
No, not in the sun. No, you're right. So if it's sunny, the sun is going to promote the growth.
Understood.
So let's say, I mean, it's shadowy in inside, and you move it outside, right? So I mean, and maybe later on it's going to be sun on that side, wherever you just move it. But right now there is no benefit.
Does that apply the same also? Let's say outside there's more dew, so like the air outside is more wet, or.
It's a good question. I mean, dew is usually at night, like closer to the morning.
Either way, even if it's at night, you still need water. It doesn't matter if there's sunlight, no sunlight.
Yes. So even though he did it, so I think it's my opinion, it would be allowed. I'm not sure 100%, but logically, I'm talking logically, it would be allowed.
Understood.
Continue. No. Where am I? Since okay, so we said so it is allowed to move the snapper part from outdoor from indoors to outdoors, because the flower pot does not draw the nutrients from the ground. One may move it from indoors to the outdoors. Okay, continue. Next one. Planting in water. Okay, forget about the soil, in the water, right? The melacha zorea includes placing certain types of seeds into the water or any other chemical solution in order that they should sprout. Therefore, it is forbidden to place an avocado pit into the cup of water. That's how my wife she grew this avocado. Similarly, watering beans, bean sprout on Shabbos is forbidden. So I mean, all of these other things that you don't have to plant them in the water, in a soil, but in the water is sufficient. So all of this, of course, is forbidden.
Wait, Rabbi, very, very quick question. It might be a little off topic, but on Shabbos, would I be allowed to, let's say, wash fruit or vegetables, even though they might have ants on them or something, insects, and they might die?
So if you okay, so it's very easy question. So if you look, if you visually don't see the insect, so there is no problem there.
Understood.
So
Okay.
I mean, whatever. Before the class, I was checking some I don't know what is it. It's not a deal, but some different like greenery, right? So only like a few times in my life, I did find the bugs in the lettuce. So I have this magnifying glass with a light. So it's, I don't know how many, like 10 times. I mean, it's not very strong, but it's strong enough. With a light, if you put these things, the lettuce or dill or any other like vegetables under, you can see the things. But basically, it's not. I mean, Halacha says whatever you see with your naked eye, that's what it is. On one hand, but on another hand, if you know there is very high possibility that there are bugs, they infested, so you cannot just say no. Well, whatever I check, I don't see it. That's it. You understand? In this case, when there is possible infestation, and they told you like a million times, so you have to check. So that's what I check.
But let's say there was like a fly on my food and it flew off of there. I can still eat it, correct?
Yes, yeah. There is no problem.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so continue. So we are planting in the water. Removing the bean sprout on Shabbos violate the melacha kotseya. Okay, so meaning that you cut, right? Soaking wheat, barley, or any type of seed to soften them in order that they germinate faster when they are placed in the earth is included in melacha of zareya. Okay, so soaking wheat. Okay, so it's a like preparatory step, so also not allowed. Okay, so number 2, promoting growth, watering plants. Watering plants. Water. Watering a live plant, trees, bushes, etc., is considered as area. Sowing, right? Because it promotes the plant growth. So without watering, never allowed. Watering plants is forbidden, even if the intent is not to water the plants. For example, one is forbidden to wash one's hands over the grass, even though it is not one's intent to promote the growth. So as we said with other things, it's not your intent, but melacha is done. Since the water falling on the grass inevitably promotes the growth, the fact of the washing is forbidden. The act of the washing is forbidden. Under the rule of, let me just finish. Under the rule of the inevitable psik ratio, inevitable consequence, which causes the otherwise permitted act to be forbidden because of inevitable forbidden results. So let me just explain this, and we can you ask the question. So basically, we have this rule psik ratio. Psik ratio, meaning they speak in a Talmud. They give example. So the baby is crying, and you want to pacify the baby, and the baby wants to play. And what the toys of that time? Chicken head, right? So if you give it chicken head, it would play with chicken head basically and stop crying, right? So that's what baby wants. So the guys say, look, I just want baby to stop crying. I want to kill the chicken. I want to just cut the head. Okay, I'm not interested in chicken to die. I'm not interested in the meat. I'm not interested basically in anything, just for baby to stop crying. So we say this rule of psikresha is so you're not allowed to kill that chicken. So I mean, his intent is to wash his hands over the grass. To wash his hands, period. And some water is going to go onto the grass. It's not his intent, but since it is inevitable that it's going to happen, it is forbidden. Okay, go ahead. Question.
Yes. So when do we say, for example, I asked you the question about, let's say, taking off a sock because you might pluck some hairs off. So my question is, when do we say that it's unintentional and you're still allowed to take off your sock? And no, you're not allowed to wash your hands even though it might fall on the soil. Where do we make the discernment even though there's a chance to do the malacha? And you don't mean to do the malacha.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so in some cases, for example, you got caught in a rain, right? And your socks are wet, completely soaking wet, right? And you are walking in your shoes, and inevitably you are going to squeeze the water from the sock. You agree?
Correct.
Okay, it's that's a normal, but it is a normal way of walking. That's not what you want, and you don't have any other choice. So in this case, it is allowed, and it is allowed for you to take off the sock, even like maybe you're going to squeeze, maybe like it's not your intention when you're taking off this wet socks from your body. So maybe it's going to squeeze some water. So I would say there is no problem with that because it's not your intention, and there is no other way for you to take this sock out. But in a case of the washing hands, you can wash them in another place. It does not have to be here over the grass. So you can go to another place. Maybe there is another place where it has sand or it has cement or some other things, right?
Understood. Okay.
That's
What's it called? Your example with the sock and the ringing is different than, for example, the example where I said about the sock. Why? Because you're right. In your situation, you don't have any choice because it's going to squeeze either way. But my example, you have a viable solution. Just don't take off the sock. End of story.
No, but if you want to go to bed and it's normal for a person to take off the socks when he goes to bed, right? He goes to sleep. So it's not like he does something like out of ordinary. You understand? So in this case, it would be allowed, even though it's there is a chance. There is no guarantee. So the thing is, so if there is a guarantee that in a example from with a chicken, the chicken is going to die, that's psikresha. But if there is no guarantee, so you cannot cut the head of the chicken and the chicken is still alive. Cannot be, right? But in the case that you gave, maybe it's going to pull out some hair. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Then I have a question.
So and it's plus it's one point, and the second point you're not doing anything abnormal.
Then this is my question for you. So a lot of rabbinic decrees, for example, you can't buy something from someone. Why? Because someone might lead to writing. It's maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe he will write, maybe he won't write. So in that situation, it's also maybe, but I'm not allowed to give a gift or buy something.
No, but so your question, well, here to begin with, you do something that's prohibited on Shabbos initially. You understand? So as a muktzah. So and here with the hairs, it's like you're not doing initially. There's no prohibition. In some cases, it would be forbidden. Like if the person knows for sure that he has a weak hair and for sure he's going to pull 7 out of it. Like for sure, he knows.
Understood. Okay.
Okay, so let's stop here. Any questions?
Yes. So number one is, let's say, you have to make a bracha when you see lightning, for example, or hear lightning, something like that.
Yes.
But what if you see it online or hear something online or whatever?
No. Only live.
Only live. Okay. What if you see it live online?
It's still it's not live. It's not
Okay.
you just see the impression that it was taken somewhere else, and it's still delayed, so it's not what it is.
Okay. Got it. But let's say we were amazing and we had we saw it right away live on TV. Still don't need to, or just because it's the reason that okay.
It's not that it's image. Yeah, they take the image of this picture, and then they convert it to the electronic signal. They send the signal, and then your receiver, whatever, your phone, your computer, whatever, it converted this signal back into the picture. You understand? So it's not lighting. It's a conversion of electric signal. So, but it looks like real light. You're right, 100%.
Okay.
Let BeEzrat ask a question.
Yes. I didn't get that about the cutting the head of a chicken.
Okay, so it says secretion. So the guy the baby was crying. The baby was crying, and the only way to pacify the baby so it would stop crying, to give him a toy. So the only toy at that time, they were so poor, is give it a chicken head. So the baby is going to play with chicken head and stop crying. So this guy is saying, his logic is, I don't need meat. I have enough food for Shabbos. What I want for babies to stop crying. I want to give them a toy to play. I don't want chicken to die. I just want my baby to stop crying. So it is impossible for him to cut the chicken's head and then the chicken stay alive.
But do you give the entire chicken to the baby?
No. Chicken is not going to stay with the baby. Chicken is going to run away. First of all, and second of all, we're not allowed to trap the animals. It's different in Allah. We're not allowed to trap. So if animal is uncomfortable, it wants to leave, it's already trapped.
Okay.
Not allowed. Okay.
About moving, we are moving the plants. We are talking on Shabbos.
Say it again. Apologies. Say it again.
About moving the plants. Which period, in Shabbos or weekdays?
Moving glass?
No. Plant. The plant.
Plants. No. On Shabbos. Yes. So you're not allowed to promote the growth of the plants on Shabbos, basically.
But moving the plant, it is if you carry it from one place to another. It's not carrying also.
No. You're taking it too far. We're talking about in one's apartment. So let's say he has his own house, and he wants to take from his inside. It's on his table, on his windowsill, and he wants to take it outside. We're talking about this situation. So there is no problem with carrying.
Because I thought we on Shabbos, I thought we are not allowed to pick any object if it is too heavy from one place to another inside the house.
But plants are not heavy. Plants are not heavy. Plants, from like small flower pot. There's one flower. There's not. It's not.
Oh
heavy.
yes, I imagine that because here in my backyard I have several plant pots which are very heavy. 10 kilos, for example.
Yeah, okay, but it's different issues. So it's not connected to this issue. So all of this heavy carrying is not allowed because it's not in spirit of Shabbos. So it's not that's a weekday activity. So it's not any specific melacha, but it's not in the spirits of Shabbos, not and it's not for any Shabbos needs. I mean, if you need to move it, so because you have many guests and you need a place for a table to put the second table, so you're allowed 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Rabbi.
Okay, so so I have a class very soon, but go ahead, please.
Okay, a simple question. Am I allowed to brush my teeth on Shabbos or no?
It's not a simple question. So the problem is with so you're not allowed to smooth, meaning so the toothpaste is forbidden. Whatever they say is Shabbos toothpaste, stop. Don't listen to them. Okay, so toothpaste is out. The second thing is so you're not allowed to squeeze. So if you have this fancy schmancy toothbrush that is going to hold water inside, right? So and you're going to squeeze it, it's not allowed. But there is like cheaper brushes, right? These bristles are not that close. So it basically you turn it upside down, that all water is gone. So this you would be allowed to use on Shabbos. So the problem is with squeeze. So what I do, I put I have this type of toothbrush. So I put the water into my mouth and with water, right? So I brush my teeth without toothpaste, and that's it. So there is no squeezing. And after I finish, usually like in the weekdays, I would make sure that the brush is like I squeeze all of the water. It's not nice and well. But on Shabbos, I just leave it be. So there is water inside, some, not a lot, some, but I don't squeeze. I just put it and it's going to like run off by itself. That's the thing. But we use what is it? The mouthwash basically on Shabbos. That's it.
Understood. Okay,
Right.
that's all. Thank you.
Stop here. Thank you very much. So until tomorrow, BeEzrat HaShem.
Yes. 9 or 4.
Tomorrow is Thursday 4. 9. I apologize. 9. Thursday.
Tomorrow's
9.
Wednesday.
Then 4. Then 4.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Go ahead. It's left.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל אשר יפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תאמינו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.